Well, see what happens when you run a live show. Shelly just disappears.
So where'd she go? What happened to her?
She deuced out tonight. It's all good. That's
Oh,
what
man.
happens. Nah, she'll
Man.
be back here shortly. You'll know how it
Told
happens.
you not to say that to her. What the hell did you do, Blake?
I pissed her off in the back in the green screen or in the green room before we got going. So look, there she is.
There she is.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, that's another first. That literally I get kicked out right as the show opens. But good evening, everybody, and welcome to Everything Vaguely Paranormal. I'm Shelly Pruitt. My partners in the paranormal are Mr. Ryan Roberts and Mr. Blake Smith. Hey guys, how are you? Sorry for the momentary delay.
Doing pretty good.
Obviously better than I am.
You decided to just deuce out?
I told Blake not to say that to you, but he said it anyway. So
I know that's what happens when you smart off to me right before we start. Well, guys, we have got a great guest tonight. Her name is Allie Kay, and she is the author of 5 separate books that you can find on Amazon right now. She is currently in a contest to be the Inked magazine cover girl. So, child, y'all go vote for her. Oh yeah. And but she's also a psychic, tarot reader, and a paranormal investigator. She also does music promotions, and she is a metal band aficionado. She loves the metal music, and she has got all these. She's kind of a jack of all trades, so she's going to be really cool to talk to tonight. And she has threatened to read one of us this evening, but not tell us who it's going to be and not tell us when. Shit. I think she's going to surprise us. She is also about to do a new show called the Madtown Paranormal Expo, and she is a promoter for it. So now I think that I have gone through the list of things I know, but I am really ready for her to tell me the things that I don't know. Let's welcome the fabulous Allie Kay. Hey, Allie, how are you?
Hi. I'm great. How are you doing?
I hope I got everything right. Did I get that right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot.
Even with me deciding I was like, I'm out of the show for tonight. No, I came back. I wanted to talk to
you. You reminded me why I'm so tired all the time.
She heard her she heard her intro, was like, man, I could use a nap. You're right. Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
So Allie, right off the bat, how long were you a music promoter? Because and I know you do the modeling, but also the music. How long have you been doing that? Because that's something that doesn't usually jive with the paranormal genre. Yeah, let's listen to some headbanging metal and hunt ghosts.
Yeah, that's right. Like, honestly, and that's kind of what's so unique about what I've turned. Well, I was Allie Kay Music before, I guess, and I transition to Allie Kay Promotions now because I'm doing a whole new kind of wheelhouse of events. So I've been a music promoter, metal, rock genres mostly, for going on 11 years. Yeah.
Wow.
In Madison, in the Madison, Wisconsin area to Iowa to Illinois, but mostly Madison's my home base. That's my family and where I do most of my work. I think I have done 87 shows, like on my own, like promoted for, 3 to 4, 5 band shows sometimes. So now I'm taking it to a whole nother level. As if that's not hard enough.
Well, I have to ask, best backstage band story that you can tell.
Yeah, that you can legally tell. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the backstage is a lot more boring than you would think. Like, everybody's tired and on the road and touring, and a lot of times it's just like sitting on some old gross couch and talking and getting ready for the next show. And yeah, it's touring. I went on tour across country, and that's hard. It's hard to be in like a little van and up, like I was doing merch in this particular tour, but setting up, doing merch until 2:00 in the morning, and then tearing down, and then getting in the van, and then going to the next spot. Sometimes you're like just driving and then wake up and it's another show, and it's a lot. Like, bands work really hard. And
I used to work for Hard Rock Cafe in Dallas, so the green room experience is not as thrilling as people think it is. Just gonna say,
I'm trying to think of something that I can legally tell. And I
Yeah, exactly. I got invited to go backstage when Pantera was in DFW,
Ooh, cool.
and I got grabbed on the arm and said, "You are not ready for this. Don't do that." And I didn't. I should have gone.
You should have.
I should have gone.
Should have gone.
Party with Vinnie Paul and Dimebag. That'd have been a whole lot of fun.
When
Oh,
Dimebag
God.
was still alive. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Dimebag.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Big
that's
ups for Dimebag. Okay.
That was a hard one.
So do you find that a lot of people in the music world are also believers in paranormal?
You know, I have, and that's why I got the idea to merge the two, because, you know, like, I know that the lifestyle sometimes isn't on board with, you know, how paranormal investigators like to be. You know, there's some alcohol, there's, you know, some drug use sometimes, like not everybody. I mean, I know bands like national headliners that sing songs about cocaine that don't do drugs at all. You know, like there's a lot of it's showbiz. It's
image. It's image. That's it. That's all it boils down to. It's just image.
So yeah, any downtime that these bands usually get is spent, you know, sleeping, eating, hydrating, you know, like just the basic human functions. And yeah, so being a promoter, I bring them into I work with multiple venues, but and sometimes they would take, you know, me out, or I would do merch, or, you know, like just help whoever. But yeah, so I would book like a national headliner, maybe like a regional band, and then, you know, a couple supporting locals. And that's pretty much my task for running a show. And then, you know, making sure everything runs smooth and everybody's changing over and all that.
So how does
go ahead?
I was gonna say, so how does the paranormal come into your life? Is it something that you haven't experienced whenever you were younger? Is it something you've always just been around, always known?
Yeah, I've always been psychic, and I've always picked up on stuff, and my mom and my family was nurturing of that. So I got a lot of guidance along the way, and I'm not the only psychic in my family either, so it wasn't like a huge surprise, but it started very young and evolved, I can say, throughout the years. Emotionally, it was hard to deal with, you know, for a very long time. And, you know, the things that I saw or felt scared me, in my childhood a little bit. There's other, you know, psychics in my family where they're just like totally cool with it. I'm like, what the is that? And, you know, like, because I do think with my logical mind, I think as much as my intuitive psychic mind, and that's the joy of being a human, is your prefrontal cortex. But I don't know. There's been so many things that have happened that it's become normal. You know, it's just I don't remember ever not being this way. So yeah. But when I was
gonna say, I was gonna say, if I had something like that, whenever I would totally I would just mess with people. Like, I'd be sitting in there cooking with my mom and be like, "Hey, the big scary tall man that's back behind you, stir to the left, not the right."
Yeah, I mean, throughout the years, it got less seeing, and I kind of like settled into this.
Right.
I can feel it. It's like the same feeling as if you're sitting in your room and with your back, you know, turned towards the door, and you hear the door open, and you know somebody's coming in the room. You know, like, you know that you haven't seen it yet, but so I get that feeling quite a bit, where it's like, okay, I know you're there, get out, you know, or you know.
So you feel you feel like this energy shift kind of comes into a room, so to speak.
Yeah.
There's I'll this is gonna be the first time I say this on camera, guys. God help me. It's a little bit of what I kind of experience when we're at locations. Try and put it into words what I'm trying to ask here. Being in a certain area, and then all of a sudden, the best way I can describe it, it's almost like the pressure changes. It's like there's almost like a literal barometric shift in the
I think there
environment.
is.
Yeah. And you're just like,
legitimately.
but you can feel it on your body. You can feel it in your skin.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah,
you
my
know.
ears will ring sometimes pretty hard
Mhm.
when there's
Oh,
something
mine
coming.
do that. I'll be like, no, don't. You're making
Yeah.
my ears hurt. It'll
Right.
be mine's always like a really high pitched sound that I
Yep.
get right in my ears, and I'm like, okay, don't do that.
Right.
Mhm.
That and my eyes will
Wait,
water.
she's telling me I'm psychic. Hot damn.
Well, I think we all are a little bit. You know,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like a muscle or a sport or
Mhm.
something you have to exercise and actively do, or you start losing it a little bit. You're not as in tune to it. We're naturally not as in tune to our extra sense as we are our prominent senses that we're using all the time. And so yeah, you have to really kind of work with it, like
Do you think
anything.
that's do you think that's because it's kind of that intuition is kind of taught out of us? Like when you're
Mhm.
little and a little kid says, I see somebody standing in my room. It's a ghost. No, there's no such thing as ghost. Yes, if there are, I have pictures of them.
Yeah.
But we tell that to a
Yeah.
child to reassure them that everything's okay. Do you think that is kind of taught out of us? That intuition, that trusting what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're feeling?
I do, and I have my theories on that. I tend not to discuss like politics or religion.
No, we don't talk
Oh, yeah.
religion.
Yeah,
or
we
politics.
don't talk
Yeah,
either of
forget
those
that.
either.
I feel like just in general, like humanity has taken that and turned it into, no, you're not seeing that, or like we need to don't talk about it, or
Just trying to
that kind of
Right.
ultimately steer it
yeah.
in another direction.
Right.
Right.
Or
It's like
it's
no. We can't
It's
can't
child's
speak about
play.
it. It's taboo.
That kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Well,
right. It's
I
taboo.
laugh because I had this lady I used to work with, and she found out that I went ghost hunting, and she says, well, you're going to go to hell for that. And I went, really? I said, wait a minute. I said, your belief. I said, wait a minute. Father, Son, and Holy. Oh yeah, ghost. And she never talked to me again after that, but it was okay. I love her anyway.
You should have said, I'll save you a spot.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fine. Everybody already knows I'm going to hell,
Yeah.
Ellie. It's totally fine.
But I feel like there's a lot of misconception
Mhm.
revolving around religious beliefs that have held people back, like me.
So
I'm
tell us about this mashup with the Madtown Paranormal Expo. Tell us how you're going to mash up this music and paranormal and make this. It sounds super cool. I want to go.
I'm excited. Yeah, like I said, I've been doing like the music shows for a decade, more than a decade
Mhm.
now, but this is something I've never done before, and it's kind of getting some, picking up some speed, and people are like, what the heck is this? Because no one's doing this. And it just kind
Right.
of came to me one day.
I've never heard of it before. Yeah.
I talking to bands, I still work with bands, and they know that I'm a psychic and they know that I investigate, and I just kind of like came up with this idea, like, what if we did a paranormal expo? I got one of my venues that I would for booking a band. We put vendors in there during the day, and then we bring in after party at night and make it like a whole thing. So far I've been on multiple radio interviews and podcasts, and thank you for having me, because this is something I'm like really super excited about. Like I do a lot of things, but this is something that's not being done and I've never done before, and I am so friggin' excited. So we're doing I got 12 vendors for this one. I plan on doing much bigger shows in the future, but for this is my first kind of like kickoff Alley K Promotions Madtown Paranormal event. And I wanted it to be special and kind of intimate. So we have 12 vendors, no repeats. They're all Reiki masters, psychics, tarot readers. We got oddities dealers, we got crystal dealers, we got paranormal techs, we got toy shop miniature figurine people, we got comedy horror hosts that have Mistress Peace Theater. She's out of Illinois, and also I am a comedy horror host. I was going to leave that out because there's enough to talk about, but
Do tell.
I did stand-up comedy. I'm right there with you. Yes, I love that.
I've been on Bordello of Horror for the last 9 years, and that
Oh,
is kind of like
nice.
a Spenguli kind of thing. So we were
Oh, hell
broadcasted
yeah.
on at midnight every Saturday on local TV, and basically we play like vintage horror movies and then do skits in between. So I'm Alley Cat,
Okay.
basically close to who I am, for my demeanor. And then we got Freak Show. He's the green guy, and we got who else we got? We got all kinds of people coming in and out, but it's an interesting show. So, and through that, we've done some work with the paranormal where when I this last year or so started connecting with my community about that, I'm like, oh, you know, Scotty Rorick, like he was on our show. Who's the other guy that does the Madison Ghost Walks? Mike Huberty. He was on our show. Like there's so many people so yeah, I'm seeing it everywhere. And we're talking about musicians are very in tuned to the universe. They are listening with a different set of ears. They're thinking with a different kind of mind, and a lot of them are like, yeah, like there's something to that. Like there is this energy out there, and
That's
everybody's
right.
got their stories. Yeah. So
That's
merging these two to me feels like a really natural merge. And I've heard like, oh no, I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing this. And I think it's going to be awesome, really.
I mean,
yeah.
It sounds like the perfect afternoon for me. I'm into everything you're talking about. So I would
Yeah.
love to go up there and check it out. And, it's like you're kind of,
Yeah.
like I said, you're blazing a trail as far as this goes.
Yeah.
With combining the two. And I just can't wait to see it get bigger and bigger. I think you're really onto something really, really cool. So
I agree.
I'm all in. This has been an amazing experience, just like going through the process with all this and, bringing these crowds together. And so far, so good. I think that everybody's super excited. Like my bands are going to come and hang out at the expo for a while. And then I got, at 7 p.m. the doors open for the after party. The expo itself is going to be all ages, but the after party obviously is 21 plus. And yeah, so we got Sealy's from Madison. They worked with JJO. They're climbing in popularity. We got Evernoir from La Crosse, and they are it's a female fronted metal band, and they're freaking awesome. And they also just got put on the Rockfest bill, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then we have Switchblade Monkeys, which I've known for frickin' ever. And we just did a radio show with them, and they got some new music coming out soon too. So everybody's super stoked. It's going to be a really good time. I'm excited. I'm really
I'm
excited.
gonna check all these out because, like I said, everything you're talking about is in my wheelhouse. So I gotta check. I gotta check all these guys out for sure.
Definitely.
And that is the best band name I've heard in a long time. Switchblade
Monkeys. I was like, I'm in. I don't even care what they
rad.
play. I'm in.
Yeah, it's a metal band thing. They got some great names.
Yeah.
They all look like creepy trees.
I find it really interesting that you pointed out a very unique trait about musicians and the paranormal, because you said that they're using this more creative mindset, and then we already also covered, good Lord, words are hard, the fact that a lot of musicians, a lot of people who are in that creative mindset experience the paranormal more than, I guess, people who use the logic side of their brain. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that. Maybe a question of like, what are your thoughts on that?
Is there a connection
between?
I think so.
Creatives
I think that everything in the universe has frequencies, and when you're tapping into, certain amounts of hertz, like I don't know if you've ever heard of like binaural beats. Those they're just kind of like tones.
Yep.
I think that, and those are definitely in music. And there's, there's all kinds of different frequencies. A lot of musicians know this, like they know that what they're working with and what they're doing. So, and all the way back to the beginning of, rock and metal, there is like for metal music for me now is so like, I can tune into it so well that it puts me to sleep. It's like relaxing. But yeah, so when you're in that and you're playing an instrument that is like directly going in that direction. I think that, when you put that instrument down and that settles, that there's things that you pick up on, it's like a tuning fork. It's gonna
that's what I was just about to say.
know?
That's the correlation that I just made in my brain. It's kind of like your tuning fork, your singing bowls, your things of that nature. It would make sense that music in and of itself could be a kind of a gateway, if you will,
right?
To bring about the paranormal.
Are we talking about the vibration and they're tuning in on that vibration and they're tuning together? Kind of like a ripple in the water.
I don't know if you've ever been to like well, I'm sure we've all been to concerts, right? We've all been to shows.
Yeah.
There's like this euphoric energy happening. Okay. Only, I mean, because of the fans being excited, but also the music that's being played and the response from those fans, and there's like this exchange, which is same with when you're in a paranormal investigation kind of mode. You're going in for an exchange with energy, that's what you're looking for. So it's a kind of the same thing in a different realm, but I think that it's understood, like there's a lot of understanding between people, like paranormal equipment, psychics, investigators, musicians, like all this, it's different, but similar, but you're also working with the elements, you're working with energies of the universe. So
right, and the lifestyles are very similar. You're packing up gear, you're setting up gear, you're moving on to the next.
You're up all night.
You're up all night.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of alcohol involved either way you go. Like, I mean,
exactly.
Definitely. But so it's for the last 10 years, I think and I have a lot of friends that are super talented musicians and travel the country doing it, and talking to them about this, it's like incredible. Really it is. It's like, like what you're describing when you're playing your instrument is how I feel when I am tuning in psychically to somebody or something. So it's like, and also it's like a control thing. It's when you learn to control that instrument, it gets better sounding, it plays better, it works better, and kind of the same thing with me, and
right.
So
like your psychic ability and stuff. Yeah.
I just figured something out.
Oh Lord.
I can't sing worth a shit. No wonder they always send the assholes after me, like, shut that bitch up. Oh my God. I literally caterwaul. No wonder the assholes come and find me. The mean spirits always love to come find me. They tell me to F off and call me every name in the book.
I get some of those too.
I'm gonna start singing to them now. I'm gonna punish them right back.
Oh no.
Go in full tone deaf and be like,
I'll tell you, like, I could just see Shelly like heading down the hallway of like Yorktown or Old Park, just being like, somewhere over the rainbow.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear that.
Like, don't fuck with me.
Doors start slamming. Fucking stop.
You legitimately see me get tossed down a flight of stairs.
Pretty much.
That's what'll happen.
Well, we don't want that.
Not in my house. They threaten me all the time. So now I want to ask you about these tarot cards now, because I am fascinated with tarot cards. But I never really learned how to read them. I always wanted to. And then I'd like find a pretty card. I'd be like, okay, I'm done. This is my favorite card. And I know it doesn't work like that.
I remember those days. I did that too.
Educate us a little bit about these.
This deck is my Thoth deck, and I've had it since I was like 15, I guess. I've been working with it for a long time. It makes me nervous because this is my favorite deck to read with. And I looked it up, and it's like worth like a lot of money. I didn't know that. So I need to like replace it with the same deck. But this is how do I say it? It's like the medium to the medium. So I can do psychic readings without tarot deck, but this gives me kind of like a path to follow.
It's your instrument. It's your instrument to use. If you want to put it back to music, right? That's your instrument that you use.
Exactly.
Does that help you tune in?
That's exactly what it is. So it's my favorite instrument. I use pendulums and I can just generally read people too, which I done quite a bit more recently, but that's more, that's hard to do. So if I get like an hour-long client, it's more easy to do that. But like once you start on a topic, I don't know where it's going to go at that point, where the
Right.
cards kind of help guide me down a path. And I don't like to do, even if it's like not the best news, I can at least follow that and we can try to find solutions,
Right.
to maybe change the path if it's really not great. But sometimes the universe, well, always the universe has lessons for us to learn, and they're not always fun. So,
if somebody is getting a tarot card reading and it seems like it is difficult for you to tell because there are a lot of, as you put them, cards lining up in a unfavorable way, could that possibly serve as a warning to just change one little thing and that changes the entire outcome? Or is it kind of like, yeah, you're about to get this lesson, just buckle up?
Sometimes, there's a lesson that will be involved, but yes, knowing is half the battle, they say. And you can start to change, your course a little bit, or at least be aware that this is coming. Or, a lot of instances, this is, like I'm speaking on things that already happened. And then, following that path, we move more into the future outcomes of that. It really just depends on the person.
True.
I think that I always ask if somebody's got a question, or, like something they want to know. Otherwise, I'm like, I can just take a look. And when I do that, then, that leaves me a little bit more open to read a person,
Right.
And yeah, but I can do it either way. And I kind of like, I've picked up on all three of you, so I'm still deciding.
Oh, shit.
Now I'm
well,
scared.
Okay.
See, this is
One
what
of
happens when
you
you
did
tell
a
a
paranormal
psychic.
investigation recently or something?
All three of
We all
us
did.
Yeah.
together
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
recently.
And and how did that go? Because if I'm feeling like there's been like something's got changed, like something changed in one of your lives since then, like something's been a little wonky.
Not that
I don't think anything's been wonky.
No.
Other than a lot of stress on all three of us recently
Yeah.
for putting things
Okay.
together and taking that break to do that investigation. We knew that we were piling extra stuff on our plates, all three of
Right.
us. Yeah.
That's it. Okay. Well, while
my
I'm
heart's
on
kind of
this-
beating a little bit, y'all. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I feel like there was something like uncomfortable that happened there. Where did you guys go?
Well, actually, we can't say.
Yeah,
It was
can't.
a private location that was a business that invited
Right.
us in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Under the agreement that we've never said where we went.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they don't want us to get around that they have a little issue going on.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, for some reason I'm like sensing something around that investigation.
Okay.
And I don't have a lot of information, but there's some like oppressing feelings happening there, or something happened while you were there that made you feel like this strife or like pain or like this pang.
Well,
and I can't figure out which one of you it is because you're like very connected right now.
Well, I mean, we kind of all felt something come into the room. I know, Shelly, you got a headache.
I did. Something got right in between my eyes, like it was trying to poke its finger through my skull.
And my eyes started watering. And Blake, you had you had like a gut reaction too.
And you had something that touched you on the leg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I literally, it kind of at one point kind of started coming at me pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
But before it did, it made a point to make the center of my head hurt. Almost to the point where I was like, I might have to go get aspirin or something. I need to knock this off.
Yeah. Was there some sort of like weird love story involved, like in that and the ghost story there?
Not that I'm.
No,
wait a minute.
no.
Wait a minute.
Oh my god.
That is actually the connection right there that we never picked up on.
I was gonna say, because there was a man and a woman.
The guy who told us to watch
at the
lady
end
that she was evil. And that and he was kind of protecting everyone else from her. Because
I'm gonna tell, hold on, wait. Let me
Okay,
tell the
because she's
viewers.
cruel.
Let me just tell.
she's
Yes,
cruel and she was coming at me.
Right.
hold on. Let me just tell the.
and on
Let me
power
just tell
trip.
the viewers real quick. Let me tell the viewers something real quick.
Okay.
We did not this investigations. We were sworn to secrecy. It is
Right.
an undisclosed location. We could not put this anywhere. It is not out anywhere. Nobody even really knows.
You
that
cannot
we
see our
went.
footage on
you
it.
cannot
Right.
see our
Footage is
footage
crazy.
anywhere. Yes, you cannot see the footage anywhere. We cannot disclose it. We cannot release it because we literally signed our life,
NDAs,
signed our life away to be able to get in there. So I'm just letting you know. Yes, you are on with that.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's a cruel, power trippy energy that happened there.
They
Mhm.
came after
And-
the other biggest bitch in the room. Yeah, she came after me.
Yeah. Okay. Of course. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm for some reason just really picking up on that energy, and she was bothered because I don't know, she felt connected to one of you. There was there's a lot of
Mhm.
sorrow. A lot of
Okay.
love and a lot of sorrow that happened.
Okay.
And like then I'm trying to tap into if I'm in the like a spirit realm right now or if I'm coming back to you guys. She feels like she was a failure and her happiness was sucked out. And that turned her into a not happy person. And not happy
Okay.
ghost.
That would tie into a lot of the things that we got.
Mhm.
Okay. My phone was
Okay.
about to die. Yep.
Sorry, there's a giant fly flying around right now. So if I pull my hat off and swat it, that's what I
Don't
do. I'm
just
not.
leave it alone. It's
I
fine.
know.
Don't kill things. Don't
Alright.
kill things while the
My
psychic is on
team
here.
emailed it, but-
Yeah.
Because
So-
the fly might be trying to give her the information she needs. Don't be killing things.
Okay.
I'm upside down. Okay, I'm so sorry.
We're gonna get it back right.
It
It'll be all
happens.
right. It
I'm trying to
happens.
figure this out. Stay. So, anyways, yeah. So then there's the guy who is. He's not mean. He's like
Mhm.
just sitting there, like knowing he's, king shit, if you will, without
Okay.
saying much of anything about anything. Just kind of watching you. Now, after,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Can I
yeah.
fill in something?
Uh-huh.
Can I fill in something?
yeah,
There is a spirit there that's alleged to just stay and watch people. And he tends to get ugly. And I started yelling at him because, he said something very derogative.
He did.
And I got all over him and I said, "You will not talk like that. You will not act like that. And I will not deal with a spirit who is behaving that manner." And he goes, "Okay, boss."
Mhm.
Yep.
Very dismissive of me. Very dismissive.
Yep.
And
yeah.
he was just
I'm
like,
guessing
"Okay,
it's
boss."
a time thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
But Blake, something made you emotional. Something like stood out. I don't know what it is. I'm not getting that information, but something kind of made you like feel weird there. And it
I'm
has
trying
to
to-
do with some sort of change that's happened in your own personal life that kind of came to your mind, I guess. At least during the investigation or like the day after or something.
Y'all, I'm getting nervous.
Nah.
I hope she picks one of y'all to be specific on.
I'm gonna say yes. That is.
And leave it at that.
I can pick up on that. I can receive that. Yeah.
Okay. So from there is this like really good energy that surrounds you guys when you're doing this, obviously. And I don't think I've ever read 3 people at once, but I'm doing it right
Okay.
now.
We're
Okay.
real
I guess
codependent
that's
and
what we're
really
doing.
Okay.
interconnected. We're real codependent. I don't think you could probably separate our energies.
Okay.
Well, I can, but this is kind of surrounding this event that, and like I know this is the first time I've ever talked to these 3, like ever.
That's
Okay.
right.
Mhm.
But yeah, you've got this big like pillowy light protection around you. However, there
Uh-oh.
is there is
Uh-oh,
this
Shelly's in the mix.
you know when we go into those situations, whether it be paranormal or anything scary, or like, out of something, like that makes anybody nervous, like protection, where we need to be in protection mode. So there's a lot of instances, like me in Walmart. I don't like that. So
there's some scary shit in Walmart.
Yeah, there's plenty of scary shit in Walmart. We kind of come into this, like, we have to make a compromise with ourselves. Okay, yes, this isn't feeling like super kosher, but we're going to do it anyways. And, and we're going to be okay. And I'm going to keep my defenses up so that I'm more alert, but also I need to like soften some things so I can be more alert, So you're doing that. So in that trade and in this place, that's where she was getting in, is because when you're having that like inner talk with yourself, where you're making like a truce, a compromise to, allow your fears to be, but we're doing this anyways, and to move forward into that. That's kind of her route where she gets in. And usually the females she attacks because she assumes that they are weaker. But
wrong.
That was cute. That was cute.
So, yeah, there was a lot of abundance at one time in that situation, with the spirits, and then it just ended in some pretty bad ruin. And mostly for her whole freaking world was just collapsed. And in the afterlife, that is still going on for her, and I feel bad for her, kind of, even though she's kind of mean. So
she's a bitch. I'm just gonna
yeah,
say
she's pretty mean.
She's a bitch. Like,
yeah. I think she's got reasons to be. Well,
all she wanted to do was fight me, and we had flashlights going, we had an Estes method going, we had a spirit box going, we kept getting fight, yes, dice, fight, dice spelling out fight.
I would say it's interesting too that you say that there was an abundance in that area at one particular moment, because in that particular area a railroad used to run through, but there is no evidence of the railroad anymore.
Yeah.
So
interesting. Yeah, and that would be like abundance back then, So yeah, I just drew, and it's just wanting, I don't know if she's coming through you guys, if she's still kind of but she blocked her emotions. Like, everything was below the surface in her life. So she's got like this major blockage that she carried into her afterlife. So it's kind of like a time bomb, when you stuff stuff down for long enough, and then it's going to come back up.
Right.
So that's just happening over and over and over and over for her. Yeah. All right, now we're talking about one of the boys.
All right.
Go ahead, pick one of them, Allie. Get them good. Get them good.
All right. Who's the nerdy one?
I mean, I guess we both are.
Right? We kind of both are.
Well,
yeah. Okay. Well, dang it. Who? I suppose you're both like more the logical brained ones too.
We're all pretty logical brains.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. It's
this might be a little personal.
Okay.
You know what? That's it. You go. Just go.
We signed up for it.
We signed up for it. Go for it.
Okay. So this person, who is very much a science mind and tends to be more on the logical side, and it's one of the boys, there's this is the personal part. There's some sort of maybe attachment to the past, or maybe an addiction. It doesn't have to personally be yours. It could be somebody in your realm, but it's affecting things quite a bit, and it's dipping into what you consider wealth, and that's not monetary, so to speak. It's more of like an emotional wealth, or challenging your strength, or pecking at you so much.
You're right on. You're talking about Ryan. I'll go for you. I'll go for you. Okay.
Yeah, it's becoming like this like devil in your life. And I think that whatever it is, there's a string that needs to be just completely detached. Like rip the Band-Aid off and start the healing process, because we're not having a good time. And then, I'm drawing another card, and it is the New Beginnings card. So there's a new beginning that is needed. And this is one of you gentlemen that maybe is starting or has known for a while that they have a psychic ability like charisma, where they can, like the magnetism. Okay. So you have, and you feel defeated because you feel like you're not defending yourself as well as you should sometimes.
Now he's gonna grab every crystal he owns, because he is all about putting crystals in and protecting himself so shit don't get him. Ding ding, you win, Allie.
Shit.
Ding ding, you win.
Nail.
Well, I can keep going, but
hammer.
Oh, keep going.
Whatever.
Hey,
Right,
I
keep
am
going.
fascinated. I am fascinated.
Keep going. Yeah.
So
If you want.
It's up to you.
no, I can.
Shit, that was spot on. Sorry.
Okay. Well, thank you. But all right. So in this, there's a transition happening, and this is challenging. I'm also talking about the gentleman here. One of your your self-esteem specter, and your ability, your throat, and your ability to get the words out right, like I am right now.
Words are hard. We understand.
And I think it does have a lot to do with, like, what's the right term? Like suffering fools, like suffering fools, like just sitting there and being like, and letting people get into your head that have no business in there, telling you that you are something that you're not, and I'm talking like a derogatory manner. So, and you're aware of that, but you're that awareness is taking you from like this, prince state to the emperor state, like to the, not really quite sure what to do about my kingdom, to I got this shit,
Right.
Now Ryan's gonna have a bigger head than he already does.
Oh, Lord. The first time you come in wearing no clothes, the emperor's gonna get booted the hell out. Okay, just so you know.
Gaze upon my wares.
Shut up.
I'm gonna tell. Hold on. I have to show the viewers so that, like, literally, she was so spot on with me a while ago.
Right.
I'm literally like, my heart is still pounding right now. Like, whew, okay.
No, I mean she's nailing stuff.
Like, I'm literally shaking.
Oh, I got more.
Oh God. Okay. Well, yeah. If you want to, keep going.
Okay. So, because now we're on a path here. So,
all right.
This is a little bit of a warning. This could be to really anybody. But you see, I don't know if you can see this, but this is a cups card. And these cups are green, stagnant, the water's like overflowing, and it's an emotional like detachment, basically. So you're like just pushing stuff down so much and letting this water just like run stagnant, turn green and icky, and then it affects, like it becomes a bigger issue than just water, right? So and that has to do with making decisions, not trusting yourself to make them fast enough. So
I know she's not talking about me. I make a decision, then I'm like, the hell with it. It's done.
I mean, I am the king of second guessing myself, so I know how that goes.
When it comes to interferences, and when it comes to your emotions, and like at the end of the day, when you're by yourself, like pain, internal pain that you're stuffing down, and that water is becoming stagnant and green, you're just leaving it and being like, no big deal. It's a big deal. It'll catch up with you. So you gotta be mindful of, what you're stuffing. We all do, and our brains will protect us from hard things. And this is definitely dealing with an interference, something that is directly challenging your defenses.
I love it. Time for a colonoscopy.
Maybe,
Okay, Allie said you had to.
Not for right here.
Jesus.
So when I get this kind of combination, I'm not a therapist, but I've been to a lot of therapy, and so I do know that being mindful when it comes to emotions, which are tricky bastards sometimes, like really, they, like, I'm fine, and all of a sudden, we're not fine. And that's kind of just the human condition. But with that, it's like training your brain to listen to you. And I guess what I started doing, and this is just like a beginner's thing, is taking 5 minutes. It can be in the shower in the morning. It can be, before you go to bed, or whatever 5 minutes you choose. But you take one thing that's positive, that you want in the future, you want to manifest in the future. And it can't be in the past. It can't be something you don't want. It has to be something positive that you want. Okay. So it has to be in that positive direction in the future. And you think about that thing for 5 minutes. And trust me, this is harder than it seems. So whenever a thought comes in, another thought comes in, or is trying to, messy up your space, you got to restart it. Start it, as many times as it takes for you to finally get through that 5 minutes where you're controlling, your brain. You're controlling that little part of your brain that has a lot to do with controlling, emotions. And controlling emotions isn't always, like, well, I can suck these up so good and blah, blah, blah. That's not good. You have to process them. You have to deal with them. But, yeah.
If we had to start over every time some other thought came in, we'd never see Shelly again. Ever.
I'm that squirrel on track. It's like I don't even finish sentences a lot of times. I'll do like half the sentence, then I'll start a different sentence. So yeah. Can I do a minute and a half? I might get a better shot at this.
And honestly, it's just a good meditative practice, especially like you guys investigate, like going into some of the stuff that we see and do. It's good to take that pause and be like, okay, I'm in control of myself. It's my brain, and this is what I'm going to think about for 5 minutes, and just that little
that's very hard though. Like, I mean, like, I was going to getting something done. I was going to get a massage, and she was going to do some Reiki on me beforehand. And I'm laying there, I peeked. I'm supposed to be relaxing. What is she doing? Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm like, yeah, okay. I kept peeking because I didn't know. I'd never had it done before, and I was supposed to close my eyes and relax. I'm like, why is she near my feet? Oh, okay, I'm supposed to have my eyes closed. It's totally useless on me, but I will try. Can I do a minute and a half? I'll build up. I promise.
Start wherever you need to. Yeah, it's good for you. Like, no matter who you are, it's just kind of good to, check and be like, okay, can I do this for a minute and a half or 5 minutes?
Right.
And if you can't, like I mean, there's different levels to that, but yeah, it's a really good feeling, like getting some sort of brain massage, or, like some sort of accomplishment. It gives you that like dopamine release, and it gives you that feeling of, encouragement through your own energy, through your own self. So, and that's pretty cool.
I love it.
I'm still intrigued by all this. Like, is there any other secrets that the cards are yelling at you right now?
Well, kind of.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I didn't think that there were. I was like, oh.
I'm kind of doing 1, 2, 3. So, okay. So, we'll start. Blake, in your dominion, in your home, where maybe your defenses have been up a little bit more than usual lately or something. There's peace coming, if it hasn't already, like the slow filter of peace. And it has to do with like you being able to feel like your swords are up all the time and you're ready to stab anything that comes at you, and you're like walking on eggshells, to laying those swords down and finally resting. That's what it feels like just that breath. So
That's a good one. Yay.
Yeah.
she's a common.
Listen, I will say this because I'm not going to go too far into it, but yes, you're absolutely spot on. That is the subject you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Is a very, very personal that I'm not going to share live on air.
But she's spot on.
Spot on with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Shelly.
Oh hell, you can skip me.
So, your idea of luxury and what makes you feel like happiest really is like emotional control and having your self-esteem and being able to, those stagnant cups I showed you, like overflowing, that's not you at all. You have one big cup that radiates light right through the
Yay,
top.
thank you.
And that's where your stability is felt. So
see, I should buy Michael Kors purses every time I want to.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see. But there's been some disappointment happening lately, but also in the same breath gain, because through this disappointment you're gaining like more insight to yourself, you're gaining more power to yourself, and you've gotten into that, like the emperor, like the empress, where you feel stable and you feel strong, and you're feeling your core is speaking to you again.
Yes, I love having power. Thank you for that. Listen to me, gentlemen.
Do you have a son?
And you worry about my head getting big.
No
I'm
shit.
sorry, what'd you say,
exactly.
Allie?
Do you have a son or like a younger man?
I do have a son. Yes, okay. I do. And he is in his 20s. Yes.
Okay. So there's a little bit of worrying about what he takes pleasure in at times, or what he might take pleasure in.
I don't know. I gotta call him now.
It's
like he told me you're up to some shit. What are you doing?
It doesn't mean he's up to some shit. It just means that you wonder about that a lot. And this person is like he's your son, so you're obviously going to worry about him. But that's like your soulmate. It's a soul connection.
These two can tell you.
Knew each other before this life.
Yeah, these two can tell you. Me and my son were best friends. We joke around, and I say all the time, I did not earn that child because I was never as good as that child was. That child, I did not earn him.
And then, did he like leave home recently?
No, he went to college and did all that, and the super excelling kid, and got married and owns his own home and done all of this before he's 26 years old.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, he's super duper overachiever. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't earn that child because I was like, can I do it next week?
Well, if something comes up that strikes your mama worry, trust.
I do. I have to. Yeah, I trust him. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. But I think you are right on with that. There, it's a mama, you always worry. So.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's going to get off this live stream and go call her son.
And Shelly, I'm trying to nicely say like you worry too much. So
no, I'm good with that.
See,
absolutely.
See, now what we're going to do is we're just going to take that little snippet right there out of what you just said and send it to him. And be like, look, you're vindicated, my man. Like,
yeah,
we go, buddy.
All right, Ryan, your turn.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So, you've had things in the works for a while that you've been sitting on and waiting for, and processes that needed to be completed. Mm-hmm. So you found a sense of success in that, and like things there's like a good positive energy stream coming in, but also you're kind of feeling like there's something you're missing, like there's this missing piece, and you've been more like hermity, like wanting to be home and like bunker down and think, and just maybe more in tune to yourself than what you usually are, and you're searching for something, and you're also questioning why you're searching for something, because you just kind of came through stuff, and I think it has something to do with what you virtue and value in this life. And you also have you have some psychic ability.
Okay.
Like we told you.
And you have some blockages in that too. And do you like write or draw or anything?
I definitely like write for the show. Like
Or
when we're
what's your like
presenting.
crafty thing? Your like Zen time crafty.
Crafty thing.
It doesn't have to be like arts and crafts. It can be whatever you do.
We're supposed to have time for those, like.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, oh
like,
my God, I'm like, I love to paint, but when do you have time? I'm terrible at it, but I love to do it.
Well, I have a challenge for you because I feel like the universe is asking you to open up a little bit more to things. Like you've always known you've been able to like take sometimes not good situations and like grow flowers out of weeds, if you will.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's bringing up this card because I feel like you have to get negative energy out of your body. You can't just leave it there. You have to. So I guess I challenge you to write or draw or, whatever, zone out in something. It doesn't matter what it is.
He's an avid reader. Okay. You love to read. And then you get an enema and all is well.
There you go. Well, while you're getting that enema, I want you to imagine that you're taking negative energy in your body and you're getting it out.
In the most literal form.
Isn't this thing? So
whatever. Jesus. Jesus, this conversation just took a hard right turn.
The comedy's like it now. But yeah. So whatever it is. Just do something, whatever you want. But I want you to actively visualize that you are getting that negative vibe out of you. Okay.
All right.
Use that enema to water your garden.
Flush it out.
Yeah.
There,
I love that, Allie. That was amazing.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much.
That's like the short version, but
now, very quick disclaimer for me. I am not a big believer in people who profess to be psychics. However, and I will say, whenever I am incorrect, I did not hear one thing that did not ring true and was not spot on for every single person in this group. I'm going to give you your props.
Absolutely.
And I absolutely, and I feel like that's only fair. I'm absolutely one of those people who's a skeptic, but I will say whenever you have me very convinced right now. So
well,
kudos to you.
There's no tricks behind me anyways, but
no.
But there's
and that's always what people who are legitimate have to watch out for is the person who's the charlatan, the fraudster. I'm gonna tell you right now, EVP peeps, she hit the nail on the head on quite a few things all three of us.
I'm sorry. I mean, my God, heart was starting
to
race.
Absolutely.
I was like, what? I've never talked to you a day in my life prior to this.
And that's the truth. She's never spoken to any of us.
Yeah,
the only person
this
she's
interview
messaged with is me.
And this interview was set up through a third person. So, there wasn't even any direct communication on that. So, yeah, tonight's the first full in-depth
time she's ever met us.
Yeah.
And so far in my practice, I have been 100% accurate. And I've read.
I love that. Now if
over 100 people.
So if somebody wanted to have you read them, do you do that? And if so, where can they find you? Because I know there's some peeps. Yeah. Now, peeps, I know some of y'all got a lot of problems and y'all need Allie, okay? So we're going to tell you where to find her. Allie, go ahead. Tell them where they can find you.
Well, I do virtual readings accurately. And you can contact me through Facebook, Allie Krause, and Allie K Promotions, or there's on there. Otherwise, I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm on the east side at Cosmic Delights, which is right off of East Washington. And I'm there Thursdays and Fridays, usually from like 11 to 3 or 4. And I'm the only reader there, but you can also schedule on the Cosmic Delights website with me for a live reading. Otherwise, I have a website too, alliekrause.com that you can.
And that's spelled Krause.
Yeah.
Correct. ALIKRAUSE.
Mhm.
And that's your website proper?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. AllieKrause.com. And then I guess for Facebook, if you plug in Allie K or Allie Krause, I should pop up and just message me. And I check my message requests quite a bit, and do virtual readings. So
I love that. That is probably again that's one of the coolest things I think we've ever done on
That
the
was
show,
so cool.
guys.
Yeah.
That really was. I'm
Mhm.
very appreciative of you being willing to do that, and thank you for not picking me. I do appreciate that probably the most.
Well, thank you for letting me read, you guys. It really is an exchange. Like, it works better when it's and that's kind of
When people
like
are open.
boundaries. I feel like that's the only
Right.
way that I could do this for a living, or like in any public sense, is creating those boundaries. So you have to ask for it.
Yeah.
Is it harder to read someone that has their guard up? Like, you have to like penetrate that armor, or can you get around it pretty easily?
I can get around it, but that's another part of like when somebody sits at my table, it's an exchange. They're giving me permission to look inside them, basically, or I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's like an IV almost.
It's a psychic enema. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Another rotor into the body.
There you go. That's right.
So
that's right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go with that tagline though.
No, that is definitely not your your slogan. No,
I wouldn't make that slogan. But yeah, I mean, they're literally giving you a peek inside of their most secret parts of them, the part they hide from everybody else, because nobody shows everybody 100%. You always keep that little bit just for you, that just and everybody does that. But to be able to give, and I'm that person. I put up all those walls. I'm like, this is what you see, this is what you get. There's nothing deeper here, nothing, and I'm not going to even give you a chance to see it because that wall is high, baby.
Yes, there is.
Yes, it is. That wall is high.
I'm like,
it's
Allie's
something.
I was gonna say Allie's gonna leave the show and just be like, Allie K, your roto rooter to the other side.
Yeah, that's right.
The roto rooter for your spiritual tutor.
Your psychic plumber. I can clean out your pipes. Yes. She's going, why in the hell did I say I would do the show? They're talking about enemas and everything else.
Well, that's a good metaphor, kind of.
Well, gentlemen, do you have any other questions for Allie? Because we want to keep within the time that we told her we would have her on here, not take up any more for evening. Gentlemen, any more questions for Miss Allie?
I don't think that I do. I just
you're scared. That's why you're scared.
No, I'm not. No, I am not scared. I'm not scared.
No.
Like that's
It's kind of
amazing.
amazed.
Connection, nothing to be afraid of. Just a normal
Right, and thank you so much for doing that. I know that your time is very valuable, and what you do is very valuable. So thank you for doing that for us.
Yes,
and I just wanted to say one more time, February 18th, Crucible Madison. Come out and see this new unique thing I'm doing. We got all kinds of vendors, workshops, speakers of the paranormal. Everything you can think of is going to be there to come and hang out. And then afterwards, we will have a wonderful little metal after party with like ghosty drinks and everything. So yeah.
Damn, man. I wish I could make it up there all the way from Texas, but I'm happy to see what happens, and I
hope I'll put you on my guest.
It's going to be a success. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So Blake, why don't you tell them everything that they need to know?
All right, bear with us. We got some announcements here. So don't forget, our talk show After Dark with EVP is out exclusively on Paraflix Paranormal Plus. Our entire first season is available for streaming. We have 8 episodes consisting of interviews with other individuals in the paranormal field and haunted location owners in our very own paranormal investigations with evidence you won't see anywhere else other than Paraflix. We can also announce at this time that After Dark with EVP has been renewed for a second season, which will be premiering on Paraflix on March 28th. At 7 p.m. Paraflix is available on Amazon Fire, Roku TV, Apple TV, iOS, Google Play, So make sure you use our link to sign up. That link will be posted to our Facebook via our link tree, and it is also going to be in the show notes as well for you audio listeners. Make ssure to use the code AFTERDARK25 for 25% off your annual subscription. This Friday, February 9th, we will be doing a special global live event with David Taylor and Ashley Moreno from Our Haunted Lives exclusively. That show, Our Haunted Lives, is exclusively on Paraflix Paranormal Plus as well. We're going to be co-hosting this live event with a special guest, runic scholar, spiritual guide, and author Kadrick Olson. He has been a guest multiple times on Coast to Coast. So make sure you come and check that out on Facebook, YouTube, and Paraflix live this Friday at 8/7 Central. So tomorrow we're going to post up our Linktree link, and that will include links to everything that we do, which will be that Paraflix link, every social media channel we are on, our online merchandise store, our public investigations, and our Patreon page. Our Patreon page is the fastest and easiest way you can directly help support the show. For just $5 a month, you will gain access to over 300 plus additional Patreon exclusive videos. Your support goes directly to the show and all the adventures that we get to bring you week after week. This price will never change, and with that, you currently get our pre and post broadcasts, which are the 30 minutes before and the 30 minutes after this live broadcast, where we discuss things further, fight, debate at goofy as hell, and share the more personal side of things. Yeah, it's interesting over there. It now also includes Patreon exclusive raw and unedited investigation footage. We've recently posted some Estes methods as well as the investigation of Frank's cell at Squirrel Cage Jail to our Patreon, so go and check it out. If you've ever wanted to watch full versions of Paranormal Evidence, now is your chance. That is only on Patreon, and we are also offering a 7-day free trial, so you can check it out prior to purchasing.
We're sorry.
Make sure you're following us across all social media platforms, as we are now starting to release different pieces of evidence and videos, as well as announcements for tickets and investigations to different social media channels. We currently do have tickets on sale to Gregg County Historical Museum, Hill House Manor, and an Old Park in June, and we will have another one going live at 10 p.m. tonight. Not going to tell you what it is. Go check out our Eventbrite page. Those are all the ways you can directly support everything Vaguely Paranormal, but we also appreciate your love and support for us through those likes, comments, shares, views, and downloads. And remember, as always, any questions, comments, stories you'd like to share with us, those can be submitted to us at the evppod@gmail.com. That is THEEVPPOD@gmail.com.
Like, share, and subscribe. So for myself, I'm Shelley Pruitt. My partners in the paranormal, Mr. Blake Smith and Ryan Roberts. I had to stop because you caught my attention for a hot minute. You have a different aura now. And very special thank you to Allie K of Allie K Promotions, psychic, tarot reader, author, and metal band promoter, who is, make sure you go out and check her out at the Madtown Paranormal Expo, February the 18th. And go vote for her to be the Inked Magazine cover girl in the Inked Magazine cover girl contest. Go find Allie K. Go and sign up.
Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching Everything Vaguely Paranormal. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.